Well, Jim, thanks for letting us come up and get a tour of your shop. I really appreciate it. I'm going to go ahead and let you show us the way.
All right.
So here we are in this beautiful Pacific Northwest, and typical some spring weather. It feels like January here. So this is where he does his magic.
So I could just kind of go through tools.
You bet.
So there's a MIG welder here. So that's what I glue everything together with. So.
Is this your planning board here?
So that's the blackboard.
Do you mind if I
no,
take
go ahead.
a
There's nothing
quick
on there.
shot of that?
Um,
So like with everybody that's making something cool, you have all these groovy plans and
well, this is
designs.
for a greenhouse.
Okay, so not
it's
just tools.
Not just tools, you know.
Okay.
So, but anyway, this thing welds things together, so I could put this blade on that handle with that tool.
Cool. Cool. I saw you in a video using this. Is this just a pickup point?
So yeah, it is, because if you take the MIG welder, it squirts metal. This little rod, this wire, I have a 40-pound spool in the machine, and it's just coming out. It's really fast.
Is that the same thing as a welding rod, but in a spool?
Yeah, like a stick welder?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so, but this has inert gas coming out of it, so it
Okay.
needs no flux.
Oh, nice.
So anyway, if you just take and start welding, this will be cold and it will bump the thing you're welding.
Uh-huh.
But if you get it hot and then you start welding, it melts right in, so it doesn't. So I'm lazy. I don't like doing setup and clamping things down, so I just kind of put them in the right place. And if you touch it down and get it hot and then weld it.
So you have this wonderful sculpture from all the years.
Yeah,
of
people
doing
come in and this is the most amazing
That's
thing in the
so
whole shop.
cool. Yeah, yeah. And these look like a bunch of shears that
Yeah,
you
so
got
these
going
are diamond
on.
shear handles.
Nice.
You know, and there's a little ones. And
Fascinating.
more diamond shear stuff.
I can't believe all the hours of tool making time you've put into this to make it. I mean, I'm just looking at the wall even. Look at that cool.
Yeah, there's some old relics up there. Some
That's awesome.
things I learned on, you know. And this
And
is
this.
so this is a mechanical fly press. And this
Is
one
this the
squishes-
big one?
This is 120 tons of squish. Let's start this one up and you can kind of see how
Okay.
it works.
Okay.
So there's a motor here, and there's belts that go up, and you have the shaft. And this lever moves the shaft either that way or that way. So if you rub the shaft on this side, it lifts it up. And if you push it on that side, it
Oh, that's
smushes it down.
amazing. Very, very simple design, but very
Super simple.
effective.
So this screw has 3 threads on it. So like a nut and a bolt you get from the hardware store would have 1 thread. This has 3. So that way it goes up and down pretty darn fast.
And pretty smoothly, too.
Smoothly too, yeah. So
And then you have to obviously grease this every once in a while.
Yeah.
And then the surface underneath here, is
So
this
those are
just...
2 pieces of tool steel that are held in place.
Okay, and that must be much harder than the other steel.
Yeah, exactly. So this piece of steel on the bottom is just plain old mild steel, but this is hardened steel. So when I want to smush something, I can smush it that and it won't damage the dies.
Very cool. Very cool.
So and then, so we have mechanical fly presses, and then we have punch presses.
Punch presses. Oh, okay.
So these,
That's going to be a different...
So this is the fly presses are the old types of presses, and these are the new type of presses. So these presses are all probably 80 to 100 years old, and the mechanical fly presses are more than that. So,
Wow.
So these 2 presses squish with 30 tons.
So I was noticing online that there is a press called a Moore Press. Is that the same family you're from, or is that a different company altogether?
I think it's a different company.
Because they were big like this, and it said Moore Press, and I'm like, I wonder if he's related.
No. So there's no names or maker's marks on those. I don't know where they came from. Last place they were was Korea. And
Oh,
they came
wow.
across in a container.
Interesting.
And then, so these are, so the difference between this press and the other presses, these will go up and down a fixed amount. So that every time it goes down to the exact same place.
So more precision.
So these aren't smashing machines. These are just like pushing machines.
So they form things.
Yeah, without
Okay.
crushing them.
Okay.
If you do something over there, you're smashing something.
So brute force versus meticulous
Yeah.
being really specific.
Right.
And then you've got yourself a little oven here.
So this is my propane forge, and right next to it is an induction forge, which was in the video of me making.
Oh yeah, that's
So this
right.
is a microwave for metal.
Oh, very cool.
So when you turn it on, you could hold on to this and be melting steel simultaneously because
That's
it's using
pretty
a
amazing.
high frequency
And then these are the different
coils for
coils.
doing different jobs.
So each one is for a different style tool.
Yeah, like this one's for doing a jack handle. So
Okay.
it heats just enough that I can bend my jack handle.
Okay.
And this one, like this is probably for a tweezer, you know. So they're all.
And then you use this one for the leaf press.
Yes, it's
So,
a flat one. Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, so they're just what you wind them up, and so this is like $1,000 out of China.
Wow,
It's so cheap.
that's amazing.
It is because if you bought an American-made lapel machine, it's probably 20 or 30.
Wow.
So
Wow.
China's eating our lunch. And then we have back here we have a lathe and a milling machine.
So a metal lathe. You
Metal
put
lathe,
you put
yeah.
metal on it, and it will
It will just go around and make,
cut the metal.
cut the metal.
Wow,
Absolutely.
wow.
So that's just a little tiny.
And are these little cutting
those
tools?
are carbide tools.
So those are the cutting tools?
Yeah. So you know, so in the world of there's high speed steel, which is just a really fancy steel.
Uh-huh.
And then there's carbide, which is this little piece that's hooked on right there.
Oh, that's all the part of it that's
Yeah.
that. Okay.
And this is made out of cobalt and vanadium nitrides and things like that.
Is cobalt a metal?
Cobalt's a metal.
Because I hear cobalt in glass. Is it
Cobalt,
just a
yeah.
color? Is it the same type of thing?
Same metal, but in glass it's a cobalt oxide, and this is just metallic cobalt.
Interesting.
So this you can cut. This will cut steel when the chips are coming off red hot. And this you can't get the chips hot at all because this will get soft.
So this is more like cold working, and this is hot working.
This is the way everything was in the world before 1960 or so.
Oh.
And this is post 1960.
Okay.
So
Technology has
technology,
changed things.
yes, it's changed everything.
Interesting.
And then this is a milling machine. So this is for milling. This is, you can put, it's like, it goes in and out and up and down, and you can cut steel with it, any shape, just do all sorts of
Interesting.
stuff with
And
it.
it's very precise.
Yeah, so this is a knockoff of a Bridgeport, which is the classic machine.
Cool.
So this is a nice, really handy machine.
All the little different details on this, like precision measuring tools and little levers to, I'm sure there's a lot of learning curve on this one.
Oh, it's huge. You know, so this measures off in thousandths of an inch, and this is measuring off in thousands. So the problem with these old machines is that there's a lot of slop in them. You know, and so on
Kind
the
of like
new
driving
machine,
the old International truck versus a new Toyota.
Yeah, exactly. It's a whole
Yeah.
different drive. You know,
And then is this metal shavings all stuff from this particular tool?
so these metal shavings, these long little curlies.
Oh my.
All those are all from the lathe. And
Wow.
and then all these little tiny chips, they're from the mill.
Dang. That's amazing.
Yeah, and that, you know, so it's just,
And I'm assuming this is years of.
oh, it's a couple months.
No way.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
I mean, a real machine shop would have a dumpster out back that's
Serious?
with 20 feet long and
Oh my
totally full of
gosh.
it.
Wow.
So, and then we've got, this is a weird machine. It's a surface grinder. So it has a grinding wheel on the inside. Well, it doesn't have a grinding wheel right now, but have one of those grinding wheels on it. But anyway, this measures in thousandths of an inch going up and down. So you can grind a thousandth going this way, and you can grind out a thousandth this way. So you can grind things to within a half a thousandth of an inch of being truly flat.
I like its pretty hat.
Yeah, I came off a railroad bridge.
That's great. I love all your artwork on the walls in here. It's amazing.
Yeah, all the old saws and old, you know, Ansel Adams photos.
And Lino Tagliapietra.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
So I was there when he was doing that.
That's amazing.
This is a piece of pipe with a burner burning into it to keep it hot. So he was
Pretty
just
cool.
winding that stuff around
Pretty
and cutting
cool.
it off,
Wow.
and it's
Pretty
cool
amazing.
because it was fluorescing that color and it ended up being blue.
And then it turned into the blue.
Yeah.
I love how the color of the glass changes when it's
Yeah.
hot.
Yeah.
And these are old forge pictures of
Yeah, it was
something.
an old calendar that I had, so I just stuck them on the wall.
Pretty cool. I lived across the street from a foundry when I was a kid.
Oh, wow.
And we used to break in at night and go check out the things.
The things, what they were
The
doing.
things, yeah. So another drill press
Drill
of some
press.
sort. Pretty
Yeah,
cool.
Another drill press.
Amazing.
And then this is where I do all my polishing. So we have some belt sanders and some polishing wheels.
So do you keep this as a separate space because of the dust? Or,
it's the grit and the noise.
And then do you have to wear a mask to
Oh,
keep
wait. yourself
yourself from getting...
So I wear earplugs, safety glasses, and a mask and a leather apron. And
I
these-
love this with this, hope
a-
you don't mind if
Go
I
ahead.
touch. Definite more tools.
Yeah.
Sweet. Did I wear white today?
Oh,
of
yeah,
course I
I
did.
did.
Duh,
Disaster.
hello.
So like these punch presses out in the, so they could take a flat piece of steel
Oh yeah.
and they could form that shape
Gotcha.
really consistently.
Yeah.
You know, so there's not a lot of, there's still handwork and straightening things out, but it's a lot
And some
less.
polishing.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. And is this years of
Oh,
just stuff
yeah.
being blown at the wall?
Yeah, see, I grinding here
amazing.
and the sparks are flying this. Every
Dang.
now and then it will peel off and I pick it up and throw it away and start another one.
That's great. That's great. How many hours do you spend in here typically? Do you come down for hours at a time, or
Yeah, I do about, well, I've been trying to work less.
Yeah.
And, but right now I'm probably down here 6 hours a day.
I just bought myself a glass blown sink for my bathroom.
All
Pretty
right.
excited. What is this groovy looking tool?
So this is an old radial arm saw that I was going to repurpose and I haven't quite got to it.
Cool.
And this is a homemade
Belt
knife
sander.
making belt sander.
Sweet.
So occasionally make a knife. This is a tumbling media.
Awesome. Oh, what is that made of?
Porcelain.
Can I touch it?
Yeah, you can. It's just little porcelain plugs, and it just rounds the edges off. And stuff.
So this is used for metal.
Yeah.
Where what I would use for glass is probably stainless steel.
Yeah, exactly.
shot,
The
yeah.
stainless steel shot. This
Yeah.
is kind of, it makes a lot of noise. That's why
Yeah.
it's in here as well.
And then another big polishing tool, grinder.
Yeah.
Wow, pretty amazing. And all in this gorgeous setting of Pacific Northwest, of
Yeah.
course. Well, this has been really fun. Another great big gigantic one.
Yeah, it's a big grinder. That one will definitely.
I wouldn't want your power bill in here.
Well, you know, it's better than glass blowing though.
There's truth there. Are these blanks for something that you were making? Or
So
is
I used to go
this-
through the dumpsters at the laser cutters and pick
Uh-huh.
these up.
Cool.
And so I've just collected them up over the years. Like this is something I made a cabinet out of them, you know.
Fun.
And
So you can't quit being an artist.
No, I still like picking up junk and making
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, what an interesting and fun place to explore. I mean, this is definitely. Oh wow! Now this is an interesting tool. Another cutter.
Yeah, so this is like a very thin grinding reel, and you can just grind your way right through steel. So you could put a steel rod on here,
Wow.
and it's called an abrasive cutoff saw.
Okay.
And you have these big wheels,
Cool.
and you just put a wheel on there, and it just spins and makes lots of noise and smoke.
So
but it
it's
just slices
a
steel.
giant version of my cutoff saw that I use for tubing.
Yeah,
Oh,
but it's an abrasive one because your saw
mine's
has
probably.
teeth.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't looked at it.
Yeah.
I haven't used it. It's still in the box.
Oh, well, it would be just like a little circular saw, you know, with little
Yeah,
tiny teeth on
yeah.
it. This one just grinds its way
That's
through
pretty
stuff.
cool.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. And the infamous Arbor Press.
Yeah, this was something I made for another company. They were pressing out lamp parts with this one.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Nice. Is this one of your old?
Yeah. Well, check out, this is a good one.
Oh, from The Stranger. Do they even have The Stranger anymore?
I don't know, but
I
there
don't
it is.
either.
That's a really
Oh,
old-
look at with Chihuly. Oh, that's funny. The
Yeah.
Stranger makes the world inhabitable. I can tell you lots of Lots of interesting reading material in the Stranger.
yeah.
Yeah.
Stranger's pretty strange.
Yeah, pretty strange. So that kind of concludes our little tour here. And this is where I first found Jim when I got here. He was welding some things together or
Yeah,
doing
making
something.
little straight crimps.
Those are sweet.
So
Awesome.
That's one that's just as welded. So
Pretty cool. And then it goes to the polishing process.
Yeah, cleaning, polishing,
Nice.
straightening.
And you said you make at least 10 at a time.
I try.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
good.
it doesn't always happen that way.
Yeah.
But, you know, if
Yeah.
I can make a bunch, I'll make a bunch.
Yeah. Well, Jim, it's been fascinating, and I so appreciate you giving us this tour and letting us snoop around and see what this tool making business is all about.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to coming back up here someday and seeing what you got going on that's different than what you did the last time I've been here. So, very cool.
Well, thank you for having me on your...
The Glass Dragons, thank you. I thank you. And I'm sure that all the glass workers that see this in the future will be thanking you.
All right. Thanks
All
a
right.
lot.